Alright, Joe Oaks here with Hankster's Hot Rods today here at our Homer City location, and we're going to go over our newest addition to our inventory, this being this 1964 Chevrolet Nova SS that we have sitting right here. Obviously you could see that this car is done in kind of like a pale yellow, but it's actually kind of nice. So often we see like the bright yellows and so forth, but this is kind of a nice, it's a different color for this car. The paint and the body on this car, nice and smooth and shiny all the way around. Now you can see this car here, it's got all the bright work on it, obviously, your chrome bumpers, front and back. It's got this body molding here along the top edge. It goes all the way back to the rear of the car and around the tail panel. It is all in really good shape here. No dents or dings in any of that. No pitting that I can see on any of it either. It's shined up really well, looks good. Obviously ours has the Nova SS here on the front fenders, along with the little emblem here, the badging down below there on the front, or on the back side of the front fender there. Now as far as your panel fitment, you can see the gaps here to the front side of the door and also right here at the back side of the door. Very uniform front to back. As far as your elevations go, these things are lined up really well in this car. So again, your front fender to door and your door to quarter panel, they all match up as far as those elevations go. Now also for bright work here, we've got the mirrors here. Now this is just on the driver's side. The chrome on this is in great shape. Glass, same thing. All of your bright work and trim around your windows here, like your drip rail moldings here and all the trim around your windows, all in really good condition on this car. Now as far as the glass goes, you can see this is slightly tinted glass here on the sides. Your vent window, your side window, and your quarter window here all look to be really, really nice. No chips, no cracks, and any of that stuff. Of course, you've got the molding here along the top of the door too, all in good shape. Chrome door handles, again, no pitting on those. Let's open our door up, take a look inside real quick. You're going to notice we've got an all black vinyl interior in the car here. Got the front bucket seats, very comfortable seats too, by the way. Black carpeting, the factory dash, factory gauges. It does have a few aftermarket gauges on it, mainly being the oil pressure, water temperature, and the voltmeter. Looks to have like a digital AM, FM radio in it also. Factory style steering wheel there also, and it is an automatic car. Now you can look in and see the shifter in there. It might look like a 4-speed. They just put like a long handle T-handle shifter in there, but it is in fact an automatic 700 R4 transmission. Door panels are all in good shape. All your weather stripping and seals, the rubber bump stops here, and again all of your seals here with your quarter window and up around the top side of the door frame here. Those are all in great shape. We'll close our door and we'll continue around the rest of the car here. Quarter panels nice and straight also on the car. Nothing to really speak of there. And then we'll come around to the back side. So the tail section of this car, again, a lot of that bright work, a lot of that trim that goes around the tail panel here and up along the edge of the trunk here. Again, you can see here, this is all in excellent shape, nice and shiny all the way around. Tail lights and bezels, the lenses and bezels, all in great shape. You can see it's got the Chevrolet badging here on the trunk panel here as well. Nice chrome rear bumper here to match and go along with the front bumper also. Give me just a moment. I'm going to pull the key. We're going to go ahead inside the trunk then, and we'll take a look at that. Normally I have the key in my hand. I forgot to grab him though, so let's go inside the trunk. So first off, the key does work the trunk lock. The hinges and spring all work, and you can see the underside of the trunk done in the same paint as the rest of the car. All of your trunk weather stripping here, all in great shape. No rips, no tears, nice and soft all the way around. So this should seal up really, really well. And you can clearly see this trunk pan in here. Excellent condition, good and solid. All of your drain plugs are all intact here. No patching whatsoever, and done, finished off with the trunk spatter paint just as it should be. So that whole inside of that trunk looks great. We'll close this up. That shuts nice and easy. And we'll come around to the other side of the car now. Again, all of your same trim. Again, don't really need to go over it. It's all in great shape. You've got your quarter panel mounted antenna here also. Now, as far as wheels and tires, we'll take a look at those real quick. These are 15-inch factory steel rally wheels. We've got the beauty rings here and the center caps all matching on this car. BFGoodrich Radial TA tires on all four corners. Up front, we've got 195/60 R15s. On the back, we've got 215/65 R15s. Now we'll move back up here to our door. Again, you can see the gaps to the back side, and now the front side. Again, very uniform on this car. And again, elevations and panel fitment and alignment are very nice on this car. Everything is all in alignment. All your body lines, all your moldings, everything all in line. Again, that door handle, no pitting at all. All of your drip rail moldings here, all the trim, the bright work around the windows, all in great shape. And the glass, again, as what we saw on the other side, no chips or cracks or anything in that glass. It's all in really good condition. We'll open the door up from this side so you can see it from both sides inside here. Again, the dash itself is in good shape there. No cracks or anything in the dash. The carpeting is nicely colored all the way through. There's no fading, no rips, no tears. Same thing in the seat upholstery, no rips or tears. And this car has all the seat belts too. So front and rear seat belts are installed in this car. Again, all your weather stripping and seals around the doors, all in really good condition. Door shuts nice and easy on both sides. So we'll come around now, all your matching badging and emblems and so forth here on the front fender. And we'll come around now to the front end of the car. So again, this is going to be your typical 64 Nova front end here. You can see all the bright work here and trim on the leading edge of the hood, your headlight bezels, the grille itself, and the front bumper, all in great shape. You can see the trim up the center of the hood here, also in good condition. Also, we can look at your gaps all the way around on your hood. Very uniform all the way around. Elevations with your front fenders are good. So this is all adjusted very nice. As far as your windshield goes, again, in great shape. No chips or cracks here. And the same thing. All of your bright work and your molding around that windshield, all in really good condition. We'll come up here now. We're going to take a look at what's underneath the hood. And here we go with that. So first off, the underside of the hood, painted the same color as the rest of the outside of that car. You've got all the hood insulation all intact as it should be, in excellent shape, no pieces torn or hanging down. It looks really nice. You've got your seal back here at the back edge here of your cowl. That's going to help keep water and so forth out of here too. And then once you get to the engine compartment here now, you've got all black engine compartment, which looks really nice here, the color contrast on the car. Inside here for a motor, this is not the original motor, but it is a nice 327 cubic inch small block Chevy motor. Very, very stout motor here. This thing has tons of power, tons of performance here out of this motor here. You can see it's got the chrome Edelbrock air cleaner on top. It's also got Edelbrock aluminum intake on it. And as far as the carburetor goes, trying to see, I believe that is an Edelbrock 4-barrel carburetor as well. You'll also see it's got a set of chrome valve covers on it. They are embossed with 327 on the sides of them. They look really good. Got the chrome alternator here as well. Chrome shroud on the aluminum radiator. And then if you look in here for the exhaust, you've got a nice set of ceramic coated Shorty style headers. Now, other things that we're going to mention here, first off, it is a power brake car, disc brakes up front, drums on the rear. It is a manual steering car, but that is not an issue for this car. Again, these little Novas were very, very light, not having a big motor in them here. Keeps the weight down on the front ends. They steer very, very easily. So sometimes a lot of guys prefer that manual steering over power because sometimes the power was just a little too quick for them. This has been upgraded though. The whole front end on this car has been upgraded, as a matter of fact. It's got a whole complete chassis engineering front stub on the car. So your cross member, everything like that, all chassis engineering. It's got these nice struts in here to beef up and strengthen up the front end that you see mounted in there. Very nice add to this car. As far as the rest of it here, so we've got that 327 motor. Behind that is a 700 R4 automatic transmission. And then for the rear end, it's got a 350 gear in it. It is a 10-bolt GM rear end, and that's the 8.2-inch ring gear and pinion. So again, for the power plant that's here, doesn't need a whole lot of beefy components on it. It's, you know, everything that's here is going to last very, very well with this car, but yet you've got a lot of performance out of this little motor here. So that's pretty much it as far as the outside of our car, interior, trunk, under the hood goes. So the very next thing we're going to do is go ahead and get this on the lift. We'll show you the complete underside. We'll be able to take a look at that front end, the whole setup that they have on here with the tubular control arms and such. We'll show you that from the underside, and then we'll finally fire this motor up and let you hear what that 327 sounds like. All right, so we are standing underneath our 1964 Chevy Nova SS. We're going to go through this just like we always do, from front to back, talking about the steering, suspension, driveline, frame, floors, etc. So on this car, we'll start up front here, and this is where there's a lot of nice stuff here to go over. If you were here in person, you'd be able to see a lot of this stuff, probably a lot better, but I'm going to describe it best as I can. That way you've got kind of a good mental picture of what we have here. So underneath here, we have a chassis engineering front clip on this car. So all of this is just like, it's all pretty new stuff here. Looks to be in great shape. The cross member, the front subframe rails here, those are all in great condition on this car. Everything all bolts in here too, real nice and neat. As far as the suspension, I think you can see here this has both upper and lower tubular A-arms up here on the front as far as your control arms go. It also has a really nice front sway bar on here. The frame bushings are in great shape. The sway bar end links, now these are on Hymens, and they're adjustable too. So if you ever need to adjust that, it's real simple to do that too on the front end of this car. Braking on this front end is disc brakes. Now this is a power brake car, so you got your disc brakes up front, drums out on the back, complete with your emergency brake. And as far as the steering goes, this thing's been upgraded. It's got rack and pinion steering on it. Now it's not power, but rack and pinion in this car steers very, very good. Because again, these Novas are a very light car, don't need the power really on them to get them turning. So that's the front suspension, subframe and all that, so forth. As far as, we'll go to the back suspension now. As far as the rear suspension goes, we've got the Monoleaf rear suspension here. It does have a set of air shocks back here on the rear. Those are real easy to adjust. You just hook an air hose to them, raise, lower, whatever you want to do, you can do it with that much ease back here. As far as your brakes, I already said drum brakes back here. Emergency brake is all hooked up. Everything's all complete underneath here. So that's your rear end. As far as the actual gear goes in here, I want to say it's a 10-bolt rear. It's an 8.2-inch ring gear, and I can't remember offhand. I think a 350 gear on this rear end, but again, if I might be incorrect on that, just always look at our description because it's going to be there. So that's the rear end portion of the car. Now as we come back to the front, we'll talk about the drive line now. Now this is a non-original number, not numbers match motor. It's a 327 cubic inch motor, but a very stout running 327. This thing has gobs of power for a little 327. Behind that is the 700R4 automatic overdrive transmission. You can see the pan here, very nice, no dents or dings. The pan itself on the transmission, as well as the oil pan on the motor, all dry, free from any leaks or drips that I can see underneath here. It's got the chrome torque converter shield on it down here, a flywheel shield, so that's going to help protect things underneath there. Back here at the tail shaft here at your input shaft here, your seal, that is nice and dry too. Now your drive shaft here, you can see it's got the balancing weights on it, so that's going to help eliminate a lot of your drive line vibrations in the car, because you'll get that through the drive shaft and so forth. That's why they balance them like that. And then we've already gone over that rear end. Now as far as your exhaust system, you can see how nice the exhaust is laid out on this car. It starts up at the engine with a nice set of ceramic coated Shorty style headers, back into your full dual exhaust, a set of dual cherry bomb mufflers here too. These are kind of like a turbo style muffler made by Cherry Bomb. And then of course it's got the tailpipes here that go up over top of that rear end housing. Then they exit between the leaf spring and the rear quarter panel on the car. Frame and floors, well, we already talked about the front clip on this car from Chassis Engineering. You can see the whole underside of this car is in excellent condition. All the pans are good and solid on this car. I see no patching whatsoever as far as that goes. All of your pinch welds down the side here, super straight down both sides. Rocker panels are good and solid on both sides of the car as well. Again, all your bracing is here. You can see all your stamping lines and all of the floor pans. Again, you can tell that it's all the right metal, and like I said, I don't see any patching underneath here at all. And then as far as the rest of the frame, they do have subframe connectors in here, going all the way from the front back here to your leaf spring mounts on the car. And then back behind the rear end, the fuel tank and the trunk floors. Again, the trunk floor is as solid as can be. And again, the actual tank looks to be a stock tank, no dents or dings in that. All painted the same color as the rest of the underside of the car here. Mounting hardware, your straps and so forth, those are all in great shape too. The only other thing left to go over are wheels and tires. It's got a set of 15-inch factory steel rally wheels on it, complete with the beauty rings and the center caps. Then for rubber on it, they've gone with the ever so popular BFGoodrich Radial TA tires on it. Again, tread is all in great shape on these tires. And these are going to be 195/60 R15s on the front, and then 215/65 R15s out on the back of the car. And with that, that's pretty much everything underneath this car. You can see again just how well conditioned this thing is in. It's actually one of the nicer Novas that I've ever laid eyes on from the underside. So let's go ahead now. We'll lower this down off of our lift, and we'll go underneath the hood where we'll finally fire that 327 motor up. Let you hear just how strong that little thing sounds.